Are you buying gold right now because you think World War III is on the horizon? Do you truly believe that when the global economy finally fractures and the paper currency in your wallet becomes nothing more than colorful kindling, those shiny yellow bars will be the most precious asset in your arsenal? If that is your plan, then you have already fallen for the greatest marketing trick in the history of human survival. You are standing in line at the gold dealer in a cold sweat, watching the tickers flash red, thinking you are securing your future while you are actually buying a front row seat to your own demise. You have been sold a comfortable, velvet-lined lie that gold is the ultimate insurance policy, but you are about to discover that in a true systemic fracture, a token for wealth is not the same thing as wealth itself. Imagine it is a rainy Tuesday in Caracas, Venezuela. The year is 2018. You were one of the smart ones, or so you thought. You saw the hyperinflation coming years before the Bolivar collapsed, before the supermarket shelves were stripped bare, and before the power grid started its slow, agonizing death crawl. You converted your life savings into physical gold coins, hidden, secure, the ultimate hedge. And now, as your neighbor's life savings evaporate into the humidity of the city, you feel protected. You have the real money. But as the sun sets and the rolling blackouts begin, you realize you are not eating any better than the people you look down upon. The pharmacies are shuttered. The hospitals are graveyard silent. Your daughter has a fever that will not break, and she needs antibiotics that do not exist in the legal market. You find a man who operates in the shadows, a man who has what you need. You offer him a gold coin. He looks at the shiny yellow disc, then he looks at you and he laughs. He tells you he has no use for a rock he cannot spend. He needs gasoline for his truck. He needs a welder who can fix his gate. He needs actual calories. He rejects your gold because in a collapsed world, the gold standard is a fantasy of the past. You leave empty-handed, clutching a useless fortune in a world that only cares about utility. You prepared for a monetary failure, but you are living through a systemic failure. There is a fundamental, almost terminal mistake in the financial prepper community. They tell a story where the government prints money until it is worthless. Paper wealth dies, but those who held physical gold emerge from the smoke as the new elite. This story is a comfort, a fairy tale for the worried middle class. It assumes the existence of a functioning economy to emerge into. It assumes that while the money changes, the pipes still carry water, the trucks still carry grain, and the social contract still holds. That is a monetary failure, a crisis of the medium of exchange. But what we are facing in the gathering shadow of World War III is a systemic failure. This is when the logistics, the infrastructure, the power grid, and the social trust itself disintegrate. In a systemic failure, the foundation of exchange itself breaks. Gold is a highly durable token that allows you to move value across time and space, but it does not produce a single calorie. It does not generate a single watt of power. When the system fractures and the shelves are empty, gold becomes nothing more than an inert paperweight with a historical prestige that no one in a war zone has the luxury to honor. To see our future, we must look at the brutal, unvarnished history of those who have already lived through the end of their world. Consider the Siege of Leningrad in 1941. A city of millions was cut off from the human race for nearly 900 days. There were wealthy families in Leningrad, people who had spent generations accumulating gold bars, heirloom jewelry, and priceless antiques. In the first few months, that gold worked. It could buy a loaf of bread at horrific, soul-crushing exchange rates. But as the winter set in and the food supplies vanished entirely, the exchange stopped dead. It did not stop because gold lost its value in some abstract economic sense. It stopped because there was simply nothing left to buy. The exchange assumption had been executed. People were no longer trading for shiny rocks because you cannot ignite a fire with gold, and you certainly cannot feed a starving child with it. What mattered then was who had a ration card, who had a connection to the military distribution line, and who had a tiny frozen plot of dirt where they could grow a few withered potatoes. The currency of survival was not a yellow metal, it was productive capacity and access to a distribution system that still functioned while the world outside was being reduced to ash. Modern civilization is built on a single, terrifyingly fragile pillar called the exchange assumption. This is the unconscious belief that you will always be able to trade one form of value for another. It is the reason you work a job that produces absolutely nothing you can eat, wear, or use for shelter. You work for numbers on a screen because you trust that those numbers will always convert into medicine, energy, and security. In a hyperinflation, this assumption bends, but it stays intact because the underlying machinery of society, the trucks, the farms, the warehouses, still functions. But in a systemic collapse, the kind brought on by a kinetic global conflict or a total grid failure, the exchange assumption breaks entirely. Gold is a derivative of your ability to trade. If there is no infrastructure for trade and no one who has what you need, then your gold is just a useless anchor around your neck. It requires a counterparty who wants gold more than they want the very survival supplies they are currently holding. In a world of starving predators, that counterparty does not exist. Your gold is not a shield, it is a beacon for violence. It tells the world that you have resources worth taking, but it gives you no way to replenish them. If you want to survive the fracture, you must look at the communities that are structurally immune to systemic failure. The Amish have built a position of independence that is the ultimate hedge against the end of the world. This is not something you can buy at a gold shop or order on a survivalist website. It is a structural way of living based on 6 interlocking, non-negotiable rules. First is local production capacity. They produce their own essentials within their own geographic circle. They do not care if the global supply chain snaps because their supply chain is the field behind their house. Second is diversified skills. Every individual in their tribe can build, heal, repair, or grow. They are not helpless specialists like the accountants and software engineers of the modern world. Third is low energy dependence. They never needed the grid to begin with, so when the lights go out for the rest of the world, for them, it is just another Tuesday. Fourth is thick social networks, where mutual aid is not a charity, but a structural obligation. They do not need insurance companies because they have each other. Fifth is a total religious-level prohibition on debt. Debt is a claim on your future production, and in a crisis, that claim becomes a leash. By rejecting debt, they remain owners of their own time. And sixth is a closed-loop economy. Their wealth circulates internally. They trade with each other, they favor their own businesses, and they keep their resources within the network. This structure allows them to survive and even thrive when the external world fails, because they never relied on the exchange assumption in the first place. The final brutal warning is this: you cannot buy the Amish Hedge at the 11th hour. You cannot manufacture decades of social trust or learn 20 years of farming skills after the grocery stores have been looted. The gold narrative has a massive, profitable blind spot because gold dealers cannot make a commission by telling you to build a community or learn how to repair a tractor. They want you to believe that resilience is a product you can buy and put in a safe, but resilience is a structure you must build with your own hands. You must decide right now whether you want to hold a token for a dead world or hold the capacity to produce in a new one. In World War III, gold will not keep your family warm, and it will not stop a bullet from someone who wants your boots. You must begin to localize your life. You must learn to fix things, build things, and grow things. You must become a machine that runs on trash and fury. You are not a consumer waiting for a rescue that is never coming. You are a survivor who chooses capacity over tokens. Get the tools, learn the skills, build the tribe, or keep your gold and pray that the man with the food and the medicine is still interested in shiny rocks. Subscribe to survive. This is the last log.